No cash.
We left America, specifically ATL. And we're in Africa, currently in Tanzania. And we're going to talk about why moving to Africa changed our lives and if we're going back, because many of you guys want to know. So welcome to the channel. My name is Ashley, and we have a special guest.
Mambo.
My dada, Naila Best. Many of you have experienced us on social media, on Instagram specifically, but not on YouTube.
Yeah, which is crazy.
YouTube video. She's the reason why I started my YouTube channel, guys. She's the reason.
Listen, she is doing such an amazing job, and I'm so honored.
Asante, dada.
Very cool.
Asante. So, welcome to the channel. My name is Ashley. On this channel, Ashley in Africa, I share my experience of living, moving, and doing business on the continent. And you guys have asked me to do an interview, and sometimes it's just challenging. Life, mothering, business, but we're on a holiday in Dar es Salaam, staying at my dada's home. She's welcomed us into her home. We're family now at this point. And so we wanted to do a video on our journey for women and families that have a desire to move abroad. They just want to hear more of the backstory. Why would we leave the Black Mecca in Atlanta, Georgia, to move to Africa? So we're going to talk about that. And so if this type of content is interesting to you and it resonates, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it with someone else who finds value in it. And at the end, we'll give you specific tools on how you can make your life in Africa a reality and how you can do it with the support of a community of people that want to see you thrive because they're thriving.
Yes, we are thriving. Okay?
We are thriving.
Listen, and it's beautiful.
Absolutely. So, Dada, first off, give us like a backstory.
Okay.
Why did you decide to move to the continent of Africa? Why did you pick Tanzania?
Okay.
Yeah, what was happening in your life?
So we had already decided we were coming to the continent before COVID. But COVID really just fast-tracked everything, and it really put us in a position where we were like, this is why we didn't want to live here, right? America's just not sustainable, especially Atlanta, right? It's just not a stable environment to raise children, to build a family, to really have the principles and infuse the principles that we wanted to infuse in our family. We just couldn't do that there. So we knew we were going to move. COVID happened. It made our move even accelerated. So we essentially, remember, we went to Jamaica for a month because we couldn't get into Tanzania. Well, we couldn't get into the Gambia, which is where we were initially going first. So we stayed in Jamaica for a month, and that's when we found out about Tanzania. We were like, where can we go that we can get a flight? Because we weren't going back. That was not an option. And so we were like, where are we going? So we found out about Magufuli, found out about Tanzania, and we were like, that's where we're going. So we booked a flight from Jamaica. We had to go back to the States for like 2 days so we could fly out, but that was it for us. And we've been here since July 2020, ever since. Never left Tanzania. And it's been such a beautiful journey, and I'm really thankful that we made the decision.
Absolutely. Coming up on your independence.
Yes.
Anniversary.
In a few days, actually.
Yeah, of 4 years. And how has it changed you as a woman?
Wow. So I feel that it has rooted my womanhood and my motherhood and my wifehood in something tangible. I feel like in the West, trying to be a woman, trying to be a mother is very daunting. It's not really a blueprint. There really is no guidance. There's really no real support. Our mothers didn't really have the time and energy to devote to instilling in us those values and those attributes, those soft skills that I talk about, that it takes to be a woman, to be a wife and be a mother. And so here, because you're surrounded by so many women that have been growing up in those skills their whole life, their mothers and their grandmothers, motherhood and womanly attributes are so natural that you just start to pick it up. And then I feel like in the West, you really have to kind of fake your womanhood. You kind of have to, like, it's the way you, how much money you're spending on your outfits, how much money you're spending on your hair, versus here, none of that stuff matters. We're really looking at the character. We're really looking at the ability to be poised and to be graceful and to be honest and to be gentle and to be soft-spoken. Like, these are all things that are very normal here. And so it's allowed me to actually appreciate these roles and not figure out ways to like demean them, you know?
Yes. Well, because women here go through rites of passage.
Yeah, they do.
So there's a rites of passage that starts very young of when you're taught how to be a woman. There are like initiations on how to be wives. Like there's an actual process and procedure that you go through as a woman here in any part of Africa. I think it's different every country, but there's a consistency in that journey of womanhood. And it's not just like buying a wig or a bag or getting your nails done or knowing how to beat your face or knowing how to dress for your body's type that defines womanhood. It's the essence of a woman, learning that from another woman, a woman teaching another woman. Like all of those things are what qualify you to actually
be that, and
be a woman.
Your ability to maintain relationships with other women. Like that here is something that is very easy. It's much more, I'm not saying that there's not issues, I'm sure, with women, with other women, but there's not this cattiness. There's not this like undertone of like, I want to compete with you. I want to like, you know, so being in community with African women is different. You know, it's just different. So
it is. I definitely learned, and I remember sharing this on the videos when I was in Tanzania. I learned how to be feminine in Tanzania because I was able to receive help, learn what it was to be taken care of and supported by other women, knowing what it was like to ask for help, which is something that is so hard for us in Western societies. We're just not taught that. Independence is everything, doing it by yourself, get the bag by yourself. All of those things are something that I had to personally unlearn. And I really learned how to embrace my femininity, my softness, my vulnerability, my gentleness here.
And for me,
in Tanzania.
The thing that sealed it for us was when we gave birth here. Like that experience after giving birth, being in the most vulnerable position in life after birth, and seeing how they bathed me, they fed me, they came and they took the baby from me. Like this was just like, and this is protocol. Like this isn't a luxury. Like, this is protocol. And that for me was like, I'll never leave. I'll never leave. Never. When you're in that position, because that's really how you know who cares about you. When you're in those most vulnerable times in your life, that care and intentionality that is given to you, that is how you know who is really for you. Right? And these are people who I didn't know. I've never had that care like that from people who I grew up around, people who are in my family, versus here. So for me, I was like, after that, absolutely not. You'll never see me again. You'll never see me.
You didn't say we were supposed to do that at the end because they want to ask if you go. Well, she told you why.
Sorry,
I'll tell you why.
I'm sorry.
If I will be back, we'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
And on this topic of help, right, and support, I noticed I shared something recently on Instagram about having a full-time helper. In South Africa. I have someone that lives with us and takes care of our family 6 days a week, right? And here I had that as well. She didn't live with us, but I got some pushback specifically from African women, but they live in America.
Oh, okay.
So, but also I think we're just not used to that type of care.
No.
We're used to, you got to do it all by yourself. You need to go out, make the money, come home and cook, clean, wash the laundry, do all of that by yourself. And that is the role of a woman. How do you counteract that?
That's
to
a great
people
question.
in the U.S., women specifically, who have placed this hustle struggle life as a badge of honor.
Yeah. I think it's sad, but that's really all they know, right? And this is why it's important that we continue to show women that there are options, show families, right? Because it's easier on the man too if there's another. Listen, it's not just a benefit for us; everybody benefits.
Everybody benefits. The children, the man as well.
Right, and so they understand that. And family here, it's so important. And so Shangazi, our aunt, Mama Rose, she is like our aunt. She's our Shangazi. Like, she's a part of the family. Jahi essentially looks at her like his grandmother. And so her help, her assistance has allowed for us to be able to infuse this functionality and this harmonious energy into our home. She's a key part of it. And I don't really know what to tell women in the West that don't understand it, other than you just have to really understand that it's not a badge of honor to
you don't get any extra points.
Right. No, you don't get extra points.
Like, and you don't get extra points in life.
It's not sustainable.
Right.
It's just not sustainable, because when we look at the neglect that is infused in the Black community when it comes to children, we can look at it and tell it's not sustainable. Like, the iPad is not a parent. The phone is not a parent. And, and so we're using these things as crutches because we're trying to be the cape. We're trying to have that cape. And it's like, listen, if I can receive the help, and I know that I'm worthy of the help, right? Because I'm not like, we're not lazy. We're still putting work in. There's still things that are happening, right? And I think that's what they think. I think they feel like, oh, the person does everything and you just sit back and do nothing. It's like, no, there's an exchange, there's reciprocity.
Right.
There should be, at least.
Right.
And so when you know you're deserving of that.
In our cases, there are. Because, like, what you pay Shangazi, I know is above market for what the average Dada here in Dar es Salaam receives. What I pay our helper in South Africa is above average, including, there is no room and board that she pays. She's able to pay school fees for her children. She's able to help her family. And she's receiving an above living wage for her help and services. And we are also receiving that love and support. Like, Penelope was like so sad
when y'all left.
She's been sad the last few days. She's like, oh, I want to call Shangazi. And I asked her to call our helper there, Shangazi, to just, keep the Swahili going.
Right.
But yeah, I think, we've just been taught. So it's something that you have to experience. One of the gentlemen in that same post that I shared, there was a guy that posted, he was like, I've been trying to cut expenses in my household, and every time I tell my wife, can we cut the helper, she always gives me an attitude. Thank you for showing me the value of her help, because really our children have so much love.
Listen.
And now I know from another woman's perspective why our house feels so warm, because my wife doesn't have to do it all.
Yes.
And so, it's just it's a gift, because it is a viable employment, and it is our responsibility to create those loving spaces for the women that are in our home to help us. But it's also an opportunity for us to show community, to have active community in our home. So want to learn more about that, you can definitely work with us and sharing what that would look like for you and your family, because it's a game changer. It has helped me be a better mother. I am a better mother because I have help and support here on the continent. And this is a common thing. This is not based on your social economic status. Everybody has help from when you are a mother. You are expected to have help.
It's a necessity. It's almost like they're shocked if you don't. Like, they're like, when I tell them, like, oh, I didn't have that when I gave birth to my first child, they're like, what? Like, they're shocked.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I'm even looking forward to like what that looks like for me, because I'm a different woman. I'm a different mother. We have a different environment, and the children have more people to love on them.
Absolutely.
So people want to know, how are you able to stay? Like, how do you make money? Do you have a job here in Dar es Salaam?
That's a great question. So the first thing is, I think the first key in being able to stay is you have to have already made the decision that you're not leaving, right?
True.
That is what's going to keep you here. You can run into financial issues, you can run into all those things, but once you've already made the decision and you've spoken that decision, that is the anchor, right there. And then the job and the other, or the finances, that comes after. So we made the decision, so that's the key reason how we're still here. And then after that, we just essentially became entrepreneurs. We both had jobs in the West. He left his job, and I was always kind of doing freelance stuff, and I just kind of migrated that over to here. And so now we're doing relationship counseling, which is something that we're really, really honored to be in the process of doing.
It's so good.
So, yeah, that's really where our passion is, because we've already been doing it, but now we're taking it to another level. Like it's infusing more those principles that relationships are really lacking in. And so, yeah, it's really just about being creative and innovative. Creativity and innovativity is what keeps you here. Okay? That's the key. You can be innovative and you can be creative. You will always have a stream of income.
Yes. So ideally, don't come to Africa looking for a job.
Right.
Africa is for problem solvers. So if you can identify the challenges that exist, not only in Africa, but in the world, you can create a solution. Africa is for you. So I don't work. I have a job, like I have a company, I have a business. I teach people how to travel, how to move, how to do business in Africa, but I also teach entrepreneurs how to turn their passion into purpose and then into profit. Right. And like how to scale that. And so that you can be a full-time mother, a full-time wife, a full-time partner, and be in your purpose and not live to work, you know, but work to serve. And that is really been, I think, the ability to tap into that abundance, to that creativity. It has not only sustained us, but it has kept our lives just so full, so rich, you know, allowing us to spend 6 weeks in another country, and maintain what we've got in another country. Like, this has always been the dream. And I thought that I had to wait until I was 65, retirement age, to do that. And one of the things that I've gotten, a gift that I actually got when we were traveling, there were older white Americans, but they could tell that I was American, and they were like, wow, you live here, like, wow, you're doing the right thing, you know, while you're young. Live while you're young. Don't wait until they say you should stop living. To retire, so to speak, because we've essentially both retired from corporate. You ain't gonna catch me in a job.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry. I consult. I will help grow your business at a nominal fee that is in alignment with my values and lifestyle. But entrepreneurship is really the key, and being able to teach that to other people, Africans on the continent, has been what has not only sustained me but fueled me with the purpose to be here.
Right. And she's so good at it. She's one of the reasons why we started doing our relationship counseling in the capacity that we're now doing it. It's much more professional, it's much more thorough, and that was her expertise, her guidance, her ability to really instill that confidence in you. So if you're looking to scale your business, you're looking to start the business, you really need someone that's going to affirm you in that decision and that creativity that you have. So hit my daughter up, okay?
Yeah. Enrollment is closed for the Africa Investors Academy right now, where we teach those skills. But when it opens up, you'll be the first to know if you're on the wait list. So click the link in the description if you're an entrepreneur looking to build a remote-based, location-independent business. We teach that. But more so, if you have a desire to travel for an extended period of time, move, do business on the continent, and Tanzania is your desired country, join us at the Travel, Move, Do Business virtual conference for Tanzania.
And my husband and I will be speaking at that summit as well, so you'll see us there.
Yes, and you'll learn more about how this move actually transformed their marriage, scaled it by leaps and bounds. The insights and the things that they've learned in their marriage of less than 5 years. Like, there are married couples out here 20 years that don't have the intimacy that they have, and the willingness to teach others. I noticed that too. Like, people will be married and they don't want to tell you what it's like. But my dada and my kaka, they are making that sacrifice because they value our people, they value family, they value marriage, and they're willing to share their trials, their tribulations, their ups and downs, so that we collectively as a people can thrive in marriage and relationships. So yes, Indivisible Trust, that link will also be in the description below. And if you want a one-on-one and you're not really ready, or you don't know where to start as far as investing in your relationship and you're looking for some direction, they can also work with you.
Absolutely. Karibu sana, welcome.
Asante. So, are you going back?
Listen.
Are you ever going to go back to the U.S.?
That question is so interesting to me. It's so interesting because I'm just like, why would I do that?
Hapana sana.
Like what? Do you not see how abundant like Africa? Like there's just no reason.
There's no need.
There's no reason on this planet. There's nothing. I tell that to people all the time here. I'm like, I'll never go back, and they're like, because they at first they'll be like, they don't understand. I'm like, listen, never.
Same. We get the same question in South Africa. Oh, are you gonna go back? You know, no. Why? It's ghetto. It's the ghetto. That side. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news.
Listen.
More than anything, I think, you know, and even family, right? Do I miss my family and friends? Absolutely. But they have an opportunity to visit a part of the world they've never experienced, to see the joy, to see the beauty, to see the abundance, because it is here. We are not riding around on lions. We don't have, you know, we're not living in trees. Hello, this beautiful house, like, this is a life that we never thought was even available to us. So to have been able to tap into it and be able to have our children in environments that are safe, where they see themselves, where they don't have to worry about, you know, wondering, being taught what a man is a woman or a man is a man, and gets to, like, these aren't the issues that our children are facing. They just get to be children.
They really do.
And they get to see themselves everywhere, in government, on the money, in power, driving and living in estates and beautiful homes and eating fruits and foods that are natural, that are coming from the trees. Like, this is life. So do we want our parents and family and friends to visit? Yes. Like, absolutely. Come see us here, because life is good here. And sometimes it's hard to even explain it. I want to explain it to you in detail, but I really don't know. I don't have the words. Yeah. And I notice too, anytime I don't have many nightmares, but anytime I have a nightmare, it's always in the U.S. It's always in the United States. I'm never in Africa. I'm never in Africa in the nightmare. So listen, I always wake up like, thank you God. So listen. And the luxuries that we have experienced here, like here, we live in we have a gated house. That's a luxury in the U.S. It is. On a cul-de-sac. Essentially. Like, this is the cul-de-sac. The last home on the street. We can walk to get fresh tomatoes, mangoes, pineapples,
Madafu, coconut water, like, and this gate, you can't get through the gate. No. Like, it's just... So I wouldn't even be able to live in a place where someone could just walk up to my door and knock.
But even the things that happen, it's just like,
okay. But
I'm Nashida.
What was I saying?
The luxury,
right? Like, I couldn't live in a place where you could just walk up to my door and knock. Yeah. Like, that seems to me, that's too invasive now. Yeah, because now I'm used to this, like, separation.
The luxuries I'm used to is being able to get a full basket of fruits for 20,000 shilling, which is like $8. The other day we got passion fruits, limes, machenza, which are we had a lot of oranges, or like,
so good. They're already gone.
Yeah, I mean, we need to go today. Watermelon,
nanasi, madafu.
All these things for $8, organic, like, off, you know.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah, like,
They're
everywhere.
like falling off of the stands.
Yes. So that's a luxury to me. Even with the challenges, you know, it's just, it doesn't hold weight, like, to what? Yeah. Don't send me no more invitations to come. Sorry, to your graduation. I'm sorry. I love you, but
from
if
over
it's not
here.
happening on the continent of Africa, it's probably not gonna happen.
And it's a spiritual thing too. Like spiritually, like here, Africa is a very spiritual place, and I feel that our spirits now don't mesh. They just don't mesh with the West, and so spiritually, like it doesn't align.
It's not in alignment.
It's not in alignment
with my values. Pole. Not pole.
Yeah.
But Dada Asante.
Karibu for having me. I'm so honored. Thank you again. And I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
Because it's been a minute.
It's been over a year.
It's been over a year. Yeah.
And it's just a joy. And I'm so grateful. Like, it's always been my dream to live bi-coastal. I thought I was going to do that in the US though, but I do that now in Africa. So to live in South Africa and also to spend extensive time and living in Tanzania part-time is like, why not? It's a beautiful thing to be able to achieve these dreams that I never thought were really possible.
Especially,
and to do it with the support and love of you and Baba has been, and your family. So asante. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it, share it with someone who finds value, and subscribe. And we'll see you at the Travel, Move, Do Business Tanzania Virtual Summit.
Get your tickets before they sell out.
Until the next video, we'll see you soon.
Bye.